Well, this is the biggest routine to do.
Wait a minute. That coal smell.
I do too. I grew up with a coal burner in the backyard for heat. I tell people the only difference between these and that thing was this one wasn't pressurized and it didn't have wheels.
Yeah.
They used just as much coal.
There we go.
Yep, that's done. Came up with a whole lot more efficient ways to do things, so they don't do it like this anymore.
It's like the Waltons. They don't go to work. The sawmill.
They got it out. They decided
All those belts are unguarded.
Okay. Unless they move.
There's one guy we were talking to, he talked like it might be close to coming out.
He's been out here for years.
Smile, Dan. Going up the switchback. We came up that track and went up into a tail track and then through the switch, and now we're going up. We're going to do it again up there at the top. There's no way in the world to climb that grade up here, so you just walk your way up, back and forth up the mountain. Morning, Mr. Don.
Good morning, sir.
Guess we can
And
move
what
up.
you're going to see here today, folks, is a
Umbrella.
timber sports or a lumberjack sports demonstration. In the old days of logging, as you'll know, Cass has a wonderful history in the logging industry. As a matter of fact, the reason why this train is where it is at is because it was needed to truck the big trees that were on top of the mountains into the area so they could be floated out and taken to mills. Timers ready, contestants ready, ready, set, go! When they got the trees out of the way, their only instrument in which they had in order to clean the fields up was the use of the axe. 1, 2, 3. Come on! You got them, Paul. You got them, young fellers. Hold them down. Matthew's driving. All right, there. Thank you all very much. We are the Chopping Coger family.
That thing went off right now, I'd probably jump in the hall.
I know about 10 sometimes. Well, thanks again. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming through.
You bet.
That's his stomp.
Yeah.
Hey, Monica. Oh, there it goes. See
Yep.
the spot on the wheel where it was
Yeah, I can see it.
flying.
Always one more thing than what you counted on, isn't there? They'd have a tough time floating logs down that creek. They'd have to cut them up into sawdust.
Lead your day.
There's a lot going on here. That's a climax engine they're working on. Yeah. Oh, wow. You think another year, huh?
Good year.
Good year.
Year.
Yeah.
The company that's doing the boiler, they, the way I understand it, they got it. They're working on it now. So when it comes back, then it, you know, it's got to go to the cash shop because they got things they want to do to it.
Okay.
There's things that we can't do to it. We're not allowed to do it.
Oh, it's just like a licensed boiler shop
Yeah.
or a, okay. That's a Heisler. That's another type of geared locomotive. See how the pistons come out this side? use a, hang on just a second.
Quite a history up here. And they didn't have too many chainsaws in those days, did they?
Not till the later days.
The original chainsaw, if you remember them things? Weighed about 50, 60 pounds, I guess. Chainsaw, man. Try to use it, man. It's just 3 horses on a man to run that thing. So 99% of it was done with old cross cut.
When I was much younger and active with a scout troop, we used to go and hike some of the old logging trails up in the White Mountains, and they were all mostly all railroad stuff. Every once in a while you'd find bits and pieces, but that was all done by hand pretty much. They had a steam donkey to help load them onto the rail cars, and
yeah, they used horses and mules up here. What they did was do a skid path up to 3,000 feet. The horses and mules bring them to skid path. The skidders pick them up right on.
well, they still
I didn't mean for him to go down that way.
Thank you. Cass is located in eastern West Virginia. It is a long, winding road to get there. It's about 8 hours from Corydon. I talked to this guy the first day in the parking lot. The rest of the trip, I did not see him at all.
Well, this is the biggest weekend to do.
Wait a minute. I know this lady. That coal smell.
I do too. I grew up with the coal burner in the backyard for heat. I tell people the only difference between these and that thing was this one wasn't pressurized and it didn't have wheels.
Yeah.
They used just as much coal.
A very nice hand cart.
Is that your thing? There we go.
Yep, that's done. This was the only time the whole trip that we saw that logging train. I thought it would have been more appropriate to carry it with us up the mountain instead of the freight train they hauled, but I guess they know best. Here's the freight train I was talking about. This video covers all 3 days of the trip. I have them mixed and matched. Sometimes the weather doesn't match perfectly, but this obviously is the first day. Everybody's gathered up in the parking lot. They're running the chaise back and forth and putting on a show. There'll be some more of this on day 3. This is where we're boarding the train. It was pretty much your choice where you wanted to get on. You could change your location each day. We pretty much stayed in the same car the whole trip. Came up with a whole lot more. This is the burned out mill at Cass. A lot of old ruins here. You get up close to it. There's a lot of the detail still left. You can see the pulleys where the old leather belts used to run. Remnants of the steam boiler inside. This is the Cass engine shop. We'll get some video of it inside here in a little bit. Here's some footage of cars sitting out here in the yard. This is where they'll keep the maintenance of way equipment. That building to the right is the restoration shop. The climax they're working on is inside that shop. We'll see that again here later on. You can see from the map here that the chaise use switchbacks to climb the mountains. You can see the chaise, the engines are pulling us up the mountain with the cars behind. Typically they would get behind the train and push a train of log cars up, but it's a little more photogenic doing it this way. At the switchbacks they'll pull in, turn the switch, then they'll back up, pushing the cars back up the mountain, up to another switch, which will gain them some more elevation. Here's one of the run-bys. We'll have it a little more detail later in the video. This one is at Leatherbark Creek, a mile or 2 out of Cass. You get a real good look at the working side of a chaise here. There'll be some more shots of these later too. Here I tried to provide a little explanation about how a switchback works. It's kind of hard to see without the entire overlay. Now we're going up. We're going to do it again up there at the top. There's no way in the world going to climb that grade up here, so you just walk your way up, back and forth up the mountain. In this sequence here, that's actually how the trains were being moved up the mountain. The engines would push them backwards up to the next switchback, where they would change direction again, pulling with the engines at the front. Here's a view from the car as the engines pushes. As you come into Whitaker Station, you can see some old logging equipment. That's a crane, fire watch tower. They've got some crew quarters, a cook shed. Here's a shot of a run by as the shade comes in underneath the overhead sign. Out of the overhead sign. Looking backward at the logging equipment. This picnic area is set up as a convenient place to eat. And there's our good friend, Mr. Don. Picture in picture. Good morning, Mr. Don.
Good morning, sir.
And what you're going to see here today, folks,
on the last day when we came into Whitaker, there was a logging competition demonstration put on by the Coger family. There's a longer demonstration of this on another DVD. I just provided clips here. I think we're a little more interested in the engines.
Timers ready, contestants ready, ready, set, go! When they got the trees out of the way, their only instrument in which they had in order to clean the fields up was the use of the axe. 1, 2, 3.
I personally wondered if these axes ever got away from these guys with wet hands, people standing all around. Didn't look all that safe to me, but nothing happened. It was a real good show.
You got them, Paul. You got them young fellers. Hold them down. Matthew's driving. All right, there.
Thank you all very much. We are the Chopping Coger family.
As we headed up the mountain, you can see a lot of the twists and turns going past Old Spruce, the Y, and up to Bald Knob. This is a short sequence of a fairly long operation where they took on water. There's a creek that runs down the mountain into a couple of tanks, and the Shea has a siphon system that lets them pull the water up into their boilers. A nice little jolt on the car. Here's a good close-up view of those water tanks the Sheas pull out of. We're up on top of Bald Knob right now. That fog you see coming across is actually clouds. It's not from the engines. It was a really foggy day. It was impressive being up next to all these rotating gears. Pretty ingenious, the guy that thought this up. Those are some strong engines. The relief valves were constantly going off. I don't know if it was by choice or not, but this prompts her next statement.
That thing went off right now, probably jumping high.
This is my favorite shot in the whole video. That was a real nice sequence. I took the opportunity to come up into one of the cabs. Wasn't a lot I could tell about how they actually operated the thing, but it was interesting to see.
Well, thanks again. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming through.
You bet. I believe this is the air compressor that we're looking at. A real good shot of the running gear. You can see in the background a shot of that platform that you can see Virginia from, on a clear day, of course. We get back on the train and back down the mountain. They'll do a series of run-bys here at the Y. There's an awful lot of nice equipment in a short space up here. This is one of the best close-ups of the running gear on a Shay. There's that lady again. A nice picture of the running gear underneath the passenger car. Don's been jolted before. I took these interesting shots by hanging the camera out the side. I kept noticing as we go down the hill that the brakeman, there was one on each car, would look over the side. They would hang out and look at the wheels. I wasn't sure what they were doing. What they were checking for was to make sure that the wheels didn't lock up and skid. This next clip right here will show one of them locked up. Right here the wheels are not turning.
Hey, Monica.
And all of a sudden they get started again. The guy talking is Lou. He was our car host. Always one more thing than what you counted on, isn't there? Some really beautiful views up here. Some days were better than others. A couple of times through here it was socked in. You could barely see the trees, let alone the ridges in the background. It was interesting to watch these guys work these brake handles. Good shot forward of the engines as we're backing down the hill. Car number 7. They'd have a tough time floating logs down that creek. They'd have to cut them up into sawdust. Need your neck. One thing that's hard to remember, Cass is a fully functioning railroad. It's subject to all the rules and regulations that cover every railroad of that size. You can see the safety signs laying in the right-of-way, the yellow foul marks, and I doubt that they existed back in the heyday of Cass. This water tower is still in use. A closer look at the old mill. You can see the main shafts and the drive pulleys. That large building in the center is the old boiler. I can't imagine what this looked like when it was running. This is the climax that they're restoring inside the restoration shop. Climax engine they're working on. Yeah. These pictures tell it all. Oh, wow. Somebody didn't know how to spell hay. You think another year, huh?
Good year.
Good year.
Year.
Yeah.
The company that's doing the boiler, is the way I understand it, they're working on it now, so when it comes back, then it, you know, it's got to go to the cash shop because they got things they want to do to it.
Okay.
There's things that we can't do to it. We're not allowed to do it.
Oh, it's just like a licensed boiler shop or a, okay. We're looking at a boiler inside the repair shop. The whistles in the background are from the whistle blow that's going on the next to the last day. People build their own whistles or buy one, and they'd hook it up to a steam engine and let her go. I've seen this particular Heisler run in old videos. That is a lot larger in life than what it looks like in the videos. See how the pistons come out this side? This one, I use a, hang on just a second. Is about 4 feet tall. That's a huge whistle. The coal dock that they use refueling the engines.
Quite a history up here. And they didn't have too many chainsaws in those days, did they?
Not till the later days. The original chainsaw, do you remember them things? Weighed about 50, 60 pounds like that. Chainsaw, man. Try to use it, man. It's just 3 horses on man. 99% of it was done with old cross stuff.
When I was much younger and active with a scope,
I heard several exchanges like this. I wished I had had the camera on for more of them.
Mostly all railroad stuff. Every once in a while you'd find bits and pieces, but that was all done by hand pretty much. They had a steam donkey to help load them onto the rail cars, and
yeah, they used horses and mules up here. What they did was do a skid pad up to 3,000 feet. And the horse and mules bring them the skid pad. The skidders pick them up and
well, they still
This was the last day. They put 3 shays together and ran them by in lash up. Then they backed him up and let him race. The last day consisted mostly of run-bys. The first one shown here is at Leatherbark Creek crossing. When people line up, they try to be considerate of people behind them. This guy walked into everybody's shot. Watch what happens to him. Whoops. He got up. He was fine. We all kind of felt like he got what he deserved.
I didn't mean for him to go down that way.
This is the freight coming across at Leatherbark Creek. This is the same location at Leatherbark Creek, the other side of the track, with a passenger train. We moved up the mountain to this sharp bend. There were some good run-bys, first with the engines from the passenger train, then the freight, backing up the mountain from the first switchback. There's an S-curve just before you come into Whitaker Station. That provided the location for this next run-by. The next run by was into Whitaker Station itself. A nice shot of them coming up underneath the overhead sign. These next shots are at the junction in Spruce. If you take the left, it'll take you to an old town site with a junction to an outside railroad. And we took the ride up to Bald Knob. I stayed on board for this one. You can see how the people line up to take pictures of the train as it goes by. In this one, I stayed on board to watch a run by of the freight, again in Old Spruce Junction. We passed by some RailFans on the way to Bald Knob, passing by the Y. I've got a recording of Cass in 1996 made by the park, and they make a lot of hay out of only having 75 people on such a fan trip. There were 300 people on this one. I guess times have changed. You can see in this next one at the end of the shot how many RailFans there actually are that try to line up and get a shot. I think they try to make it look like they're the only ones that are in the whole place. We really enjoyed the trip to Cass. If you like riding trains, getting on and off, taking videos, talking to people, listening to stories, it's a good trip. The food's decent. The lodging down at the Inn of Snowshoe was great. We had a great time. I would recommend it for anyone.